Have you ever felt that moment, that strange, almost unexplainable pull in your heart, as if God is whispering to you, saying, I have someone for you, but not yet. Wait for my timing. Perhaps you've wondered in the quiet of the night why love seems so elusive, why your heart longs yet hesitates, why every connection seems just out of reach, as if the universe itself is holding its breath. What if I told you that God Himself orchestrates every encounter, every glance, every conversation that leads you to the person He has chosen for you? That in His infinite wisdom, He is weaving a story far greater than your imagination, one that only unfolds when you learn to trust Him completely? Tonight, I want to take you on a journey of understanding how God introduces you to your soulmate, and why missing His plan could mean missing the very blessing He has prepared for your heart. It begins with patience. Patience. It is not a word we like to hear, especially when our hearts ache with longing. But listen carefully. In Scripture, James 1-4 reminds us, let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. Every moment of waiting, every lonely evening, every hope that seems deferred is shaping you, refining you, preparing you to meet the one your soul has been calling for. I have seen countless lives rushed, marriages begun in haste, hearts thrown together without the touch of God's guidance. And I have seen the sorrow that follows when divine timing is ignored. God's timing is not a limitation, it is protection. It is love. It is the careful crafting of two hearts that will beat in harmony. Imagine a young woman, quietly faithful, praying for a companion. She meets someone charming, exciting, seemingly perfect, but something in her spirit whispers, wait, this is not what God has for you. She hesitates. She prays. She trusts. And months later, at a moment so ordinary she barely notices it, God places her soulmate right in her path. Not through social pressure, not through coincidence, but through His divine orchestration. Every smile, every word, every shared laughter had been a thread in a tapestry God was weaving behind the scenes. This is how He works, quietly, patiently, with wisdom far beyond our understanding. And it often begins with prayer. Yes, prayer. Not just casual prayer, but the kind of prayer that pours your soul before God, that admits your fears, your loneliness, and your deepest desires. When you pray, God hears. He listens to the longing of your heart. He moves unseen, preparing situations, opening doors, aligning circumstances until the moment is perfect. Proverbs 3:5-6 tells us, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. How many hearts rush trying to control love, only to find that their paths were crooked, that they missed God's gentle guiding hand? I want you to imagine, just for a moment, the peace that comes when you stop forcing connections, when you stop chasing, when you stop worrying that love will never come. Imagine the calm in knowing that the one who made the stars, the oceans, and your very heartbeat is also arranging your meeting with your soulmate. There is a divine choreography in every relationship, a timing that cannot be rushed. He is watching over you. He is preparing you He is preparing them for a love that will reflect His glory, a love that is patient, kind, and enduring. And sometimes God introduces your soulmate through circumstances that seem ordinary or even challenging. Perhaps through a shared mission, a sudden encounter in a crowded place, or even through someone who changes your perspective on life entirely. These encounters are not random. Every glance is intentional. Every word exchange carries meaning. And sometimes, just sometimes, the person you least expect carries the message of God's perfect love into your life. So as you walk through today and tomorrow and the days after, hold your heart gently. Do not let impatience lead you. Do not settle for less than God's plan. Trust that He is preparing someone for you, someone who will not only complement your soul but will walk with you in faith, in purpose, and in love that mirrors His own. And remember, the journey to your soulmate is also a journey to yourself, a refining of your character, a deepening of your faith, and a strengthening of your heart. Tonight, I leave you with this thought: God is always at work, even when you cannot see it. Every prayer whispered in the quiet, every tear shed in longing, every hope that flickers and refuses to die is part of His plan. Trust Him. And when the moment comes, when He finally brings your soulmate into your life, you will recognize it immediately, because His timing is perfect and His love never fails. Hold this truth in your heart tonight and carry it forward. Patience is not waiting. It is trusting God in the waiting. He is preparing something beautiful for you, something far beyond your imagination. A love that is eternal in its depth, gentle in its timing, and miraculous in its unfolding. He leads us in ways we often do not expect, through small nudges, quiet coincidences, and moments that at first seem insignificant. Sometimes it is a shared glance in a coffee shop, a conversation that lingers longer than it should, a sudden turn of events that brings two hearts together under the guidance of God. I have seen it countless times. Two souls, walking separate paths, suddenly crossing because God intended it, even when neither of them could have imagined it. It is in these divine intersections that love begins, not rushed, not forced, but orchestrated with perfect wisdom. Consider the story of a young man burdened by failure and disappointment. He had prayed for companionship, yet life had seemed to deny him every chance. Then one rainy afternoon, while seeking shelter in a small bookstore, he struck up a conversation with a woman who shared his faith, his dreams, and his vision for life. That encounter, seemingly random, was carefully arranged by God. Every shared smile, every exchanged word had been prepared long before either of them stepped into that bookstore. It was God's way of saying, I see you, I hear you, and I am bringing you the one I have chosen. And often, God prepares your heart before He prepares your meeting. There is a season of waiting, of reflection, of growth. During this time, He teaches you to love yourself, to forgive past hurts, to trust fully, and to cultivate patience. Your soulmate is not only someone who complements you, they are someone who has been shaped by God to walk alongside you in faith. Ecclesiastes 3:1 reminds us, there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. The time of waiting is just as sacred as the moment of meeting. Trust that your preparation and their preparation are happening simultaneously under the watchful eye of the Lord. Sometimes, God introduces your soulmate through a challenge, a test, or even a moment of heartbreak. These experiences refine your heart and spirit. They teach you to discern true love from fleeting attraction, patience from impatience, and faith from doubt. There is a divine pattern here. God never allows you to meet the one He has for you before you are ready to receive the fullness of His blessing. That means your heart must be healed, your spirit attuned to His voice, and your faith unwavering. Only then can love arrive in its purest, most enduring form. Imagine the peace of knowing that God is actively guiding your steps, that each path, each interaction, each seemingly random moment is actually part of a divine blueprint. You may not see it yet. You may question it. You may even feel that love will never come. But God's plan is unfolding even in your doubt. He is faithful and His timing is flawless. Psalm 27-14 urges us, wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord. Waiting is not passive. Waiting is active faith, a surrender to His divine orchestration, trusting that every day brings you closer to the person He has prepared for your soul. And in these moments of divine introduction, there is a profound lesson. Love is not merely about attraction, convenience, or timing. It is about alignment with God's purpose. The soulmate He prepares for you will reflect His love, grace, and wisdom. They will challenge you, support you, and walk beside you in faith. Together, you will create a life that honors Him, a partnership rooted not just in emotion, but in divine intention. So, as you move through each day, remain attentive. Listen to the whispers of your spirit. Notice the gentle nudges of God in your life. Perhaps it is someone who inspires you, someone who challenges your thinking, someone whose faith shines brightly even in difficult circumstances. These are the signals of His plan, moments that should not be ignored. When you embrace them with open eyes and a faithful heart, you will find that God's guidance is undeniable. Hold on to this truth. God is always working behind the scenes. Every step, every delay, every encounter, it is all part of His perfect design. Your soulmate is not a random occurrence. They are a divine gift, carefully prepared and placed in your life at the right moment. Do not rush it. Do not force it. Wait, trust, and watch as He reveals the love He has been preparing just for you. Even in the silence, even in the waiting, God is moving. And when you finally meet, it will not feel like coincidence. It will feel like destiny. It will feel like the gentle, loving hand of God guiding you, whispering, "This is the one I have chosen for you. This is my plan, unfolding perfectly." Carry this hope with you as you continue through life. Let patience guide your heart. Let faith lead your steps. And let the knowledge that God's plan for your love is perfect bring you peace. For in His timing, in His wisdom, you will encounter the soulmate your heart has been longing for, the one He has created just for you. He often introduces your soulmate in ways that are subtle, almost imperceptible at first, through friends, family, shared work, or even a chance encounter that feels fleeting. Yet, these moments are carefully designed by God. It may seem ordinary, even mundane. But behind the veil of everyday life, He is orchestrating your meeting. Sometimes the path is quiet, almost hidden, so that your heart learns to recognize Him first, to rely on His guidance above the clamor of the world. This is where faith becomes your compass, where trust becomes your anchor. Consider the story of two people who met at a church volunteer event. At first, they barely noticed each other, exchanged polite smiles, shared small talk. Yet over time, a connection grew as they discovered shared values, similar dreams, and a mutual love for God. The spark was subtle, but God had placed them in the same room at the same moment for a reason. Every interaction, every conversation was a divine thread, slowly weaving a tapestry of love. By the time they realized the depth of their connection, it was undeniable. This was a union planned and blessed by God. God may also use trials to introduce your soulmate. It may seem strange to hear that love can come through hardship, yet often it is during moments of struggle, of sorrow, of testing, that God places someone by your side to share your journey. He knows that a heart refined through difficulty is ready to recognize and cherish a soulmate who is more than just a companion, a partner who will walk through life's storms with you, anchored in faith. Romans 8:28 reminds us, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." Even the challenges you face are part of His preparation, setting the stage for a love that is enduring, purposeful, and divinely guided. Sometimes God introduces your soulmate through the unexpected, a sudden change in routine, an invitation you almost didn't accept, a path you almost didn't take. These moments teach you to stay alert, to be open to His movement in your life, and to recognize the hand of God when it appears. It is a reminder that love is not always found where you expect it, but where God intends it. Every twist, every turn, every coincidence carries meaning. And when you step forward in faith, trusting Him, you align yourself with the plan He has for your life. There is also the lesson of timing. Many hearts grow impatient, thinking that love must arrive according to their schedule. But God's timing is never wrong. The soulmate He prepares for you will come at the exact moment your hearts are ready to meet, to recognize, and to embrace each other fully. In the waiting, God is shaping not only the person you will meet, but also preparing you to become the kind of partner they need. This is why rushing often leads to disappointment, while patience leads to blessing. I want you to imagine a life where every meeting, every friendship, every conversation is seen through the lens of divine purpose. To trust that the person meant for you is being prepared in unseen ways while you grow in faith, wisdom, and grace. Every step you take toward Him, every prayer you whisper, brings you closer to that divine encounter. Proverbs 16:9 says, "In their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." The one God has prepared for you will walk into your life when the timing is right, when both your hearts are ready to honor Him in love. And as you journey through life, do not be discouraged by delays or detours. God's plan is perfect. He is aligning your paths with precision, orchestrating every encounter, and preparing your heart for a love that reflects His glory. Trust Him in the unseen. Walk faithfully, and when the moment comes, it will be clear. The connection will be undeniable, the bond unbreakable, and the love enduring. Remember this: every person you meet, every experience you encounter, every step of your journey is preparing you for your soulmate. Watch closely, listen intently, pray continuously, and keep your heart open to the ways God moves, even in silence. For His timing, His wisdom, and His love are perfect. And when He introduces you to your soulmate, it will be more than meeting someone. It will be recognizing a divine gift, a blessing, and a fulfillment of His promise. Hold on to hope. Hold on to faith. And above all, hold on to the knowledge that God is moving in ways you cannot yet see, guiding you toward the love your heart has longed for, prepared with infinite care and destined to flourish under His watchful eyes. There's a profound mystery in the ways God introduces your soulmate, a mystery that is both beautiful and intentional. Sometimes He brings two hearts together through circumstance, sometimes through coincidence, and sometimes through something that feels miraculous. He may use a stranger who speaks a word at the exact right time, or a friend who unknowingly carries a message meant for your heart. He may even use your own journey, your growth, your heartbreak, your triumphs to place you in the exact place where your paths are meant to cross. Every detail is deliberate. Every moment is sacred. Every encounter is part of His plan. Think of those moments when life seems to fall apart and suddenly someone appears who changes everything. Perhaps it is a colleague who becomes a confidant, a neighbor who shares your vision, or a chance meeting at a place you never expected. At first, it may seem insignificant, but God's fingerprints are all over it. He is aligning hearts, opening doors, and preparing souls to recognize each other. Isaiah 55:8-9 reminds us, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." Sometimes what seems accidental is actually divine orchestration. God also introduces your soulmate through shared purpose. When two hearts are aligned with Him, He often brings them together to fulfill a greater mission. Love is not only about companionship, it is about walking side by side in faith, amplifying each other's gifts, and serving a higher calling together. In this way, the relationship becomes more than emotional, it becomes spiritual. It carries His blessing into the world and reflects His glory. When you meet your soulmate through shared vision and divine purpose, love becomes a sacred partnership that transcends ordinary understanding. And sometimes the introduction is quiet, almost invisible. It may begin with a simple conversation, a shared smile, or even a kind gesture that seems small at the time. But these tiny sparks, nurtured in faith and guided by prayer, grow into a love that cannot be denied. God is in the details. He sees every step, every glance, every heartbeat, and He is orchestrating them with infinite wisdom. Each small moment is a building block, preparing your soul to recognize the blessing when it arrives. Remember, God's ways are always higher than ours. He may delay, detour, or challenge you along the way, not to frustrate you, but to prepare you. Every season of waiting is shaping you. Every trial is refining you. Every prayer is being answered in ways you cannot yet see. Your soulmate is not simply someone you will love. They are someone prepared to love you in a way that reflects God's own heart. Psalm 37:4 encourages us. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Trust that when you delight in Him, He aligns your heart with the one He has chosen for you. As we come to the close of this journey, I want you to hold on to one simple truth. God's plan for love is perfect, patient, and purposeful. He is watching, guiding, and preparing both your heart and the heart of your soulmate. You do not need to rush, manipulate, or worry. Instead, walk in faith, live with integrity, and stay attuned to His voice. When the moment comes, when He finally brings your soulmate into your life, it will feel like a divine awakening, a recognition that transcends understanding, and a love that is eternal in its foundation. So today, as you go forward, carry patience as your companion, faith as your guide, and hope as your shield. Notice the subtle ways God moves. Trust Him in the waiting and embrace the quiet preparation of your heart. Your soulmate is coming, arranged by His hand, timed by His wisdom, and destined to reflect His love in your life. Let that truth fill your heart with peace, and let your spirit rejoice in the knowledge that you are not alone, and your love story is already being written beautifully, perfectly, divinely. Hold on to this hope. Trust in His timing, and let your heart remain open to the miracle He is preparing just for you. And now, as we come to the close of this journey together, I want you to feel it in your heart. The quiet, powerful truth that God's plan for love is perfect. Every step you have taken, every tear you have shed, every prayer you have whispered in the stillness of the night, none of it has been wasted. Each moment has been preparing you for a love that is greater than anything you could imagine. A love that mirrors His own heart, a love that carries His blessing. Perhaps you have waited long and your heart has grown weary. Perhaps you have doubted that God sees your longing, that He hears your desire for companionship, that He knows the deepest parts of your soul. But tonight, I want you to know He does. He sees every lonely hour. He knows every hope you've nurtured. And He is orchestrating a meeting, a divine encounter, a love that is destined, ordained, and blessed by His hand. Your soulmate will not arrive in haste, nor will they come by chance. They will come according to God's perfect timing, at the precise moment when your hearts are ready to recognize each other, to embrace each other fully, and to walk together in faith, purpose, and enduring love. And in that moment, you will see clearly that waiting was not wasted, that patience was a gift, and that faith has brought you exactly where you are meant to be. So, I invite you now to surrender your heart completely to Him. Trust Him in the waiting, rejoice in the unseen, and walk boldly in faith, knowing that the love your soul has longed for is already being prepared. Let go of fear, doubt, and impatience, and let His peace fill you. Let Him guide you, strengthen you, and align your heart with His plan. And as you close your eyes tonight, I pray this blessing over you. Lord, prepare their hearts and align their paths. Bring them together in your perfect timing. May their love reflect your grace, your wisdom, and your everlasting faithfulness. Teach them patience, strengthen their faith, and let their union be a testimony of your divine plan. Let every longing, every prayer, every silent hope find its fulfillment in your perfect will. Amen. Remember this always. God is not late. He is not careless. He is not unaware. He is working, even now, weaving a story of love, faith, and divine purpose. A story that only He could write, a love that only He could prepare. Trust Him, wait for Him, and when the time comes, embrace the miracle He has crafted just for you. Your soulmate is coming, and it will be more beautiful, more faithful, and more profound than anything your heart has ever imagined.